Hey everybody, this is Bronco Juggalo coming to you with a public service announcement. I was told by Skinny Man and Dead Meat to let you know that they will be back on the next episode of the Comic Cave. The lawsuit was just finished with the Maggot King, and unfortunately, they lost.
Yeah, horribly.
So they have to do a little bit of community service, but they told me to let you know that they will be back. So in the next episode of the Comic Cave, Dead Meat and Skinny Man
will return.
Well then, me and Bill are going to regale you with another tale. So stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? It is Bronco Juggalo.
And Bill.
And welcome back to the Comic Cave. Yep. Today we are doing the 2019 film Hellboy.
Yes.
Directed by Neil Marshall, starring David Harbour as Hellboy, and starring Mila Jovovich as the Blood Queen.
The Blood Queen!
Hellboy has been summoned to England to take on some giants. He gets betrayed, finds out the Blood Queen is putting herself back together. They have to stop her, or it brings about the end of the world. She wants him to end the world. You know.
Yeah, basic evil shit.
Yeah, pretty much. And we have our first rated R Hellboy film.
Yep.
Now, the first two Hellboy movies were rated PG-13. Masterfully done.
I didn't mind that.
Both of those movies.
Yeah, they're both great films.
Those are two of my favorite comic book films. I like them both a lot. And this one, unfortunately, did not live up to that legacy.
It did not, but I will give this film this. It's not as bad
as a lot of people make
it out to be.
I did enjoy some parts. Now, there are some, I do have some big issues with the movie.
Of course.
But there are some things I liked about the movie as well. It was a decent, fun ride for what it was. And I'm cool with that, you know. I would still like to see Ron Perlman and Del Toro return to finish their trilogy.
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, that'd be awesome.
I would like to see that.
Yes.
Now, this movie had a $50 million budget. It made $40 million in the box office.
Ouch.
This is a certified flop. Now, it has since made $10 million on Blu-ray DVD.
That is still a flop.
So, technically, they kind of made their money back, but you also got to remember they had to press those Blu-rays DVDs, which probably, let's say, cost $1 million to press them all. Not even. Let's say $500,000.
Yeah.
So, it's still not quite made its money back, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It is one that I do plan on picking up, even though I am going to wait till Black Friday to pick it up when it's cheaper, because I'm not going to pay full price for this movie. I didn't think it was that good.
Hell no.
But we do have a lot to talk about with this film, so let's get on with it.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you want to start here? Do you want to start pros or do you want to start cons?
Let's start with pros for this film first.
Okay. I'll let you start it off.
Yeah, I want to start with... the acting was not bad in this film. My first pro, the cast was not bad, even though we didn't have Ron Perlman. It was not badly cast. The acting was not horrible. It was actually decently acted.
No.
It's just
David Harbour was pretty good. I personally think his rendition of Hellboy, to me, it was a little more gritty, but it was not as... I don't know if I liked as much. Ron Perlman's Hellboy was very, very big, very muscular. This Hellboy, you could tell, was kind of fat. You know what I mean? Like, you could see David Harbour in it.
Yeah,
he still had the muscles and all, but you could tell, like, especially when they shot him from the back or something, you could see that he was kind of out of shape a little bit. But, you know, the thing is Hellboy has super strength to rely on, so you don't really have to worry about that. But, you know, I think David Harbour could have done a little better job getting in shape for the role. Just my opinion, but I do know he was filming Stranger Things at the same time.
Yes, he was.
And he has to be in a certain shape for that role.
Yeah.
So I get it. You know, that's hard to do sometimes. You know, they made up for it in some places with, you know, a little bit of makeup, a little bit of CGI here and there.
Yeah, but I don't mind his acting.
No, his acting job, he does a good job for what he's given, and I'm going to get into that in my cons.
All right. What's your first pro?
I'm just going to start with the one that comes to my mind right away, and that is this movie. Unlike the first two, and it's apples and oranges because they both do the action well. They both have good action. This one has a lot of blood and gore, and I
Yes,
do
it
mean
does. Yes.
full out gore, limbs ripped off, people's bodies being pulled in half, blood and guts going everywhere, actual gore. You know what I'm saying? Lots
the
and
rated
lots
R.
of blood. Yes, rated R. Also the language, things like that.
Yeah.
I like that in this movie. Now, I did not miss that in the other two films
No, they were done really well.
because it was more of an action movie.
Yes.
This one, and they did say this, Neil Marshall said he wanted to ride a razor-thin line between action comic book film and horror movie. And I like that this one, and this is kind of leading into another pro, if you don't mind. I'm just going to... This one...
Go ahead.
This one does have more of a horror edge.
It does.
And I like that it's a darker movie, kind of a horror film. I do like that a lot. And because especially, now I'm not saying that the other one is all light and sunshine and rainbows.
No,
I'm not saying that at all. Del Toro's films are a little bit dark, but they're not as dark as this.
Yeah.
But Del Toro is known for his dark directing. I thought that the fact that he made the Hellboy movies a little bit lighter was a little weird. Not weird, but it came out because it came off really well. I loved how it was done. But I do like that this one was a bit darker and it was
more serious.
It was more serious and it had that horror feel to it. It felt kind of like a horror movie.
I can agree with you there. I can agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I'm going to segue off that into my next pro.
Out of beer.
That's not a pro.
Yeah, I know.
That's a con.
Can I have another beer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Be right back. Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to segue off that into my next pro, is that they did try to keep some of the humor in here still. There was a point where he is being betrayed by the British people, and he jumps off a bridge and misses the water completely. Just bang. Like, how the fuck did you miss the water? He managed to. You know, a little comic moment here and there. And then a cop shoots at him at one point in time. Hey, I'm on your side. My bad. So I do like that they still tried to keep a little bit of humor into this film as well.
And the humor for me was kind of a double-edged thing. I liked some of the humor, and I have a con with a little bit of the humor. Now I'll get to the con.
We'll get to the cons
in a little
later.
while. But I did enjoy the humor. You're right. It was still a funny movie.
Yeah.
Now I have, like I said, I got an issue, but we'll get to that in here in a second.
All right.
It was still a funny movie overall, and I did enjoy that. So, this movie is not as terrible as people made it out to be.
Exactly.
I've heard people, now I have heard a few, very few, people say that it's their favorite Hellboy movie. That's a really good Hellboy movie. Sorry, I can't go there, but
Can't get on that
it is not
train.
near as bad as the people that say it's absolutely dog shit, it's terrible, worst film ever made. I can't get involved with that. It has some major issues, which I'll get to.
We'll get into that.
I'll get to, but yeah. Another pro that I share with Hatchet 3 that we did and all the Hatchet films so far is I like the music of this film.
Hatchet?
Yeah, well, we talked about Hatchet 3. I said that it shares with Hatchet 3.
Oh, I was going to say, why did you get back into the last review we just...
Another pro
not doing
that
Hatchet.
this shares with Hatchet 3 is I like the music.
All right.
I love that we have a Spanish version of Rock You Like a Hurricane.
Oh, yeah, that was kind
I
of cool.
thought that was awesome.
That was kind of cool.
I really, really enjoyed that. I thought the music throughout this whole movie was good. I enjoyed the film. I enjoyed the music of the film a lot.
Okay. All right. I really only have one more big pro for this film, and that is the cinematography of this film. It is shot very well. It looks good. It's visually nice. The locations are awesome. I do. I just love the way the lighting is at times. You know, the cinematography of this film is amazingly done.
One of the reasons I can't say that this is one of my, that this is a very good movie, is that every pro I have for this movie, almost every pro I have for this movie, kind of has an addendum on it. It's got, but I love this, but this part.
We'll save it for the cons.
Well, I love the special effects of this film, except for one glaring problem.
Save it for the cons.
I'm saving it for the problem. But my next pro is that I like the special effects.
They weren't bad.
I thought they did a good job on the CGI. They did a good job with the special effects.
Okay.
Except for one glaring omission, which we're about to get into. And if you don't mind, we might as well just start with cons now so I can get into it.
Just start right there then.
I'm going to. That glaring omission on the special effects is when Hellboy gets Excalibur, his horns grow out, the crown of fire goes on. They literally put a bigger jaw on him, which I didn't mind. They make him bigger, which I didn't mind. And they make him stronger, which I didn't mind. What I did mind...
Here's the butt.
Here's the butt. It looks like it just came right out of a video game. It did not look like it was in a live-action movie. It looked like they took an excerpt out of one of my favorite video games and put him in, and it looked kind of like, almost like a blocky, too smooth video game-looking character. It did not look real.
All right.
That was my one big downfall with the special effects. And I did not like that at all. I thought, oh my God, that looks terrible. Why did they do that?
Well, speaking of looking terrible, we'll get into my first con. Some of the costume designs for this film, very bad. And the worst of them all was the British guys going to hunt the trolls, and they look
the giants?
Yeah, the giant, whatever. They look like medieval Ghostbusters.
Yeah, they dressed up as in armor.
There are some bad costume designs
that's
here.
Actually, my next con. What the fuck is with the wannabe proton packs?
Again, bad costume designs. They look like medieval Ghostbusters.
Except for the main guy who was wearing this giant freaking elk head
and
dress.
It looked horrid. It looked horrible.
I was like, man, have these guys been playing Skyrim a lot or what? Because they just look like parts out of Skyrim, man.
I've seen better costumes at a Renaissance fair. Oh, Lord Jesus. Yeah, some of the costumes in this, and especially those costumes that they wore to go troll hunting, are horrid.
Now, some of the creature designs were good, though. I forgot.
Yeah, those aren't costumes.
Right, but on the flip side, the creature designs were pretty good. Like that one that's like the alternate dimension creature that he meets, the one that was setting him up to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
That looked
Oh,
badass.
yeah, she looked cool. Yeah.
The house on the bird legs, you know, that was cool.
Yeah, that was some cool shit.
I forgot to mention those in my pros. Excuse me, folks. I forgot.
That's all right. Yeah, what's your next con, though?
You know what? I'm going to go off your costume design thing here.
Oh, I forgot one thing about the costume design. I just thought of this. At when they're telling the Hellboy backstory, what the fuck was with the Nazis with the 3D glasses?
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Why the fuck were they wearing 3D glasses? Literally like the old cheesy 80 3D glasses. What blue, what red lens thingy.
I was wearing those the other night to watch Night of the Living Dead 3D. Because you have to watch the movie. They don't have a 2D version.
Yeah.
At least not on my copy.
I forgot about that, and I just thought of it for costume again. What the fuck was with those 3D glasses?
Right.
That's just annoying. Sorry, what's your next con?
I have a con on that as well, but it's more creature design than costume. On Hellboy, on the look of Hellboy, his big, stone fist,
yeah,
it looks like a fucking glove. It does. It looks like David Arbor put his hand into a big fucking glove that came up to his elbow, and that's what it looks like. It does. It looks terrible.
I can see that.
I did not like it at all. I thought it did. It looked like he put his arm into a big foam glove. And you could see it in the film. You could see that's exactly what it was.
So they bought a pair of those old Hulk gloves that make the noise, and you only used one.
Pretty much, yeah. Except it comes up to his elbow. I mean but you do use those. I get it. That's part of his costume. But you're supposed to blend that shit well enough to not be able to tell.
True.
They did not do that. You could tell. I mean, there was even parts where I swear I could see it break away from his skin right here at the elbow, and you could see his elbow underneath. You know, that's what I'm talking about. I did not like that. It was these kind of fuck-ups that fucked this movie up, in my opinion.
It's sometimes the little things, too, that can make or break you. Mm-hmm. All right, my next con for this film is Hellboy hardly ever uses his gun. Can you remember? Like, give me...
Yeah, he got knocked out of his hand half the time.
A lot. Like, he never uses it. Like, where's the... He's got it, but... Oh, it knocked out of my hand again.
His arsenal and the BR...
Come on.
His arsenal and the BPRB was kind of downplayed in this movie.
It really was.
They didn't have as much fun with the gadgets and things as they did in the first two.
And I loved that about the first two.
It was very hard. I tried at first not to, but then I said, fuck it. It was very hard to not compare this movie.
It is. It's really hard.
To the first two movies.
It's really hard.
I actually did not have that problem when we watched Child's Play. I told you that. I thought Child's Play sucked on its own. I didn't have to compare it. This one, it was hard not to compare the two. Well, because that story, those first two films, that storyline was unfinished.
Yeah, you wanted that third film. You want that third film.
You know, it was very hard to do so, and unfortunately, this one doesn't stack up. I do like it, but it doesn't stack up.
It does not.
And one of the things I did not like about this film is that they tried to kind of copy Deadpool, which I noticed a lot of comic book movies are doing now.
A lot of them are.
And now I'm not into that. They tried a fourth wall break, and it did not work. There is a scene where the line is spoke, making sure she don't come back for the sequel. After, you know, they put down a baddie. You know, and they finished it off real good. And I think was it the girl or was it Hellboy? It was Hellboy that said, making sure she don't come back for the sequel. And that's a fourth wall break, especially when you're looking right at the camera.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. No. Deadpool is a character that was designed to do that. Hellboy and this universe should not have done that.
No.
I didn't like it. I'm sorry. I did not.
No, thank you.
Yep. So, what do you got next?
All right. My last con for this film, I prefer Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman did, I'm not going to say he didn't do a good job as Hellboy, but I definitely prefer Ron Perlman. Well, no Ron Perlman, big con for me.
Hashtag not my Hellboy.
Yeah, exactly. Ron Perlman's my Hellboy.
I have two more cons. My next con is that the film is very anticlimactic. There is no big giant battle scene with the Blood Witch. He makes a decision, it's over, it's done, and the movie just ends. I didn't like that. There was no big confrontation, really, no big epic battle. I was not impressed with that. I did not like it.
Nope.
In the Golden Army, he had this huge battle against the Golden Army. And then the battle against the bad guy, I forget his name right now. There was none of that in this movie. It just, after all the big action and all the adventure in this film, there's no big confrontation with Hellboy and the Blood Witch. And it just kind of went and slipped on out the door. And I was like, that's it? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right there.
But here is my biggest con. My biggest con for the entire movie.
Okay.
Was even though I did still think there was humor in it, I did find the movie funny. The wit, the brains of the first two films was replaced in this movie with cursing. Now, I have no problem with cursing. You know that. I curse like a fucking sailor.
Yeah.
But the first two movies, the humor, the scripts, the lines, the dialogue, all was intelligent. It was smart. I'm not saying that it was nerd smart, but there was class to it. There was wit.
Somebody took the time to think.
This had nothing to do with it. All they did was cuss throughout the whole film. Even all Father did was cuss. The narration of the movie, the beginning intro to the movie, there was nothing but cursing in it. It's like they were trying to rely on making it edgy And it took away what made those first two movies so great. It took away that good, witty humor, that good, witty dialogue.
Right.
And I did not like that at all. And that's my biggest con for the film. And what made this movie, me sit back more than once and go, really? Honestly, all the cursing really detracted me from the film. It felt extremely forced. It felt out of place. And they didn't deliver it very well, in my opinion. You know, I mean, I tell my wife all the time, don't curse. You don't know how to curse. She doesn't. My wife says fuck. It sounds so weird.
I've never heard that from her before, but...
I mean, you don't live with her. She tells me to fuck myself all the time. But anyways, when she says the word fuck, it sounds so weird. I always tell her, don't curse. You don't know how. You know, I've been cussing my whole fucking life. I know how to curse.
Yeah.
She don't. And this movie did not know how to do it right. And they replaced one of the best things in the original films and even in the comic books. If you've ever read Mike Mignola's Hellboy, the comic books are witty, they are intelligent, and it took all of that and just threw in a bunch of curse words. And that was my biggest con. That's why this movie failed for me.
Yeah.
Overall, I still enjoy it, but I see why it bombed. I really do.
Yeah, I can see why this film bombed too, but I gotta say again, it wasn't the piece of shit that I was told it was.
Yeah.
I at least gotta give it that.
Yep. So, still good. I still want to own it. I mean, I'm not in no hurry to pick it up. That's why I'm going to wait for Black Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, guys, this has been another edition of The Comic Cave. This is Bronco Juggalo.
And
I'm
Bill.
saying peace.
And I thought you went like that again to me. Jerk. You're an ass, you know that?
I know. Peace out, everybody.
Good night.
Satan is the name she goes by. There's a lot of devil